Rivers, Nukes, Melons, and Whimsy. What does this week's title even mean? Only the great river of our planet allows for such a flow in this dispatch. That and the fact that the color bar is somehow where creativity, content, brands, personality, and design all swirl together. Yes, the Amazon, the real one, not the Bezos playground, finds its way into our delighted field of vision courtesy its first ever branding of the region it flows through. It comes with a fascinating design approach. So does a video game TV show that recently wrapped a second season, and I felt compelled to appreciate. And a clever team pull off a copyright heist with meaning. Oh, and if you have not seen Zendaya whimsically attempt fashion, this is your chance. Take it! So this week's lineup: Mumu Melon, the shape of Zendaya's dreams; a Rivers branding, a note on Bieber at Coachella; apocalyptic design; and quick hits. Mumu Melon. Say hello to Mumu Melon. Yes, I think I like saying the word. Mumu Melon. Ollie Frost has done it again. He and the folks at the climate campaign group Serious People, of which he's a co founder, bring a brilliant ability to take satire and make it believable in a consistently clever way. This time, they pick on activewear brand Lululemon and its fossil fuel practices. But if that sounds boring, they are not. Here we have a dupe brand openly ripping off Lululemon to showcase how they can build a similar product and line with much greener practices. This is no theory. Serious people always uses serious ways. So we have Mumu Melon products and a real brick and mortar store. As they say, we are violating copyright, but we are not violating the planet. And somehow, it's all not merely amusing. It's making a point, making it well, and making us smile. And yes, they are ready to be sued. This is many kinds of good. Have a look, there's a couple of images, but a nice little video of the store. Also, I don't own any Lulus, but would probably pick Momus over Lulus, though I do like lemons and watermelons. I've linked to their story and their gentle call to arms. Now, you might have seen Ollie's previous effort, Oil Well, a faux wellness app that could help you quiet all the noise of climate science while you march on to profits and prosperity. To quote, help you find inner peace while the world burns. If you haven't seen that, I highly recommend you do. I wrote about it last May and I've linked to the piece. There's many other sharp ideas that they have brought to life, like the big French bank campaign for the bank that said it would stop funding coal, but instead underwrote a 400 million bond to the world's largest private coal company through one of their subsidiaries instead. Or like an illustrated children's book titled Why Daddy's Law Firm Works with Nice Oil Men, delivered to law firms around London. The Mumu Melon campaign is run by Action Speaks Louder, a non-profit organization that holds companies accountable for their climate change promises. Curated cuts, as always, with these, you're best off heading to the newsletter and taking a look at all the visual goodness. A Shape of Dreams, surreal storytelling, abstract visuals, choreographed oddity, plus Zendaya and Spike Jonze. I'm in, and you really should be too. Shape of Dreams is a Spike Jonze directed short film introducing Zendaya's collab line with sportswear brand On. It's a wonderful exercise in whimsy, inviting us to her dream lab, as they call it, and it sure feels like one. Zendaya's what should I do here? What could I do here vibe is a charming mood for the narrative, and I love how it moves from curiosity to delight to a growing confidence in what she's playing with in this near seamless abstract white space. And the craft just carries us along on this little jaunt of joy. Stop motion or the feel of it, scale distortions, practical effects, choreography, physical transitions, all strung together with a perky rhythm, occasionally reminiscent of silent films. Now, the line is a collaboration with her long term stylist Law Roach, who also makes an appearance late in the film, almost like a guide or older partner who tweaks her little flights of fancy. It's a nice touch. The clothes look cool too. Amazonia. Here is a new first time brand for something that has existed for eons: the Amazon region in Brazil. 9 states in the Brazilian legal Amazon have come together to create an ecosystem brand, as they call it, for the region, promoting it to Brazilians and the world. This is Amazonia, and its brand identity is wonderfully woven into the real world space it represents. How, you might well ask? Well, the entire brand design system, typography, motion, and more is derived from the great river itself. Satellite imagery of the Amazon and the curves in its 25,000 kilometers of waterways give shape to the logo and the letters. There's no geometry, no serif or sans serif debate, no graphs of motion design systems. This feels organic, natural, human, more so because of the collaboration with artists from across the 9 states in the territory. As the video grandly but warmly declares, quote, generating a design system by the greatest creator of all, nature. Concept or cop out? You are highly likely to have heard of Justin Bieber's Coachella act, yes? Let's just say it was minimal, meta, and not a little strange. Bieber performed some of his recent hits, but a sort of lo fi. There was no big set, no choreography, no pyrotechnics. Stripped down, but not in an MTV unplugged way, more like a casual, low key way. And then he kind of settled in at a table with this laptop and fired up YouTube. Yup. For around 30 minutes, he went on to play some of his old hits via YouTube videos up on the big screen. Sometimes he sang along karaoke style, other times he just watched them with the crowd. He also played viral videos of himself chuckling with the fans. It's all very nostalgic, indulgent, a bit random, a bit cute, and maybe it could have felt intimate were you there. But being a headliner at one of the biggest festivals with a reported 10 million payday for the 2 weekend gig, this was never going to go down as merely cute. Some have loved it, calling it a masterclass in engagement, creativity, authenticity, and the internet generation at large. Others railed against it, saying it was lazy, cringe, underwhelming, undercooked, even disrespectful. I will say this: having one of the earliest made by YouTube pop stars stroll through his YouTube history sounds like a certain kind of intimate and cool. It's also the kind of thing that we might not see much of or relate to less with other celebs because making it on YouTube is not quite what it was for his generation of stars. I'm just not sure if it's what all those peeps in the audience paid for. I've linked to an interesting take from Sameer Chaudhary who calls it the last honest internet sensation. Fallout. I would like to take a moment or three to doff my dusty dystopian hat to Fallout, the series, and its wonderful choice to have a custom opening title and end credits for every single episode. Season 2 of this video game adaptation wrapped some time back on Prime Video. I was very pleased to see it continued the show's Season 1 tradition of highly stylized opening title cards and end credit sequences. They evoke that post apocalyptic, retro futuristic aesthetic of the video games, which also, of course, permeates the show, but is still topped by these animations. The custom title cards are variations of the Fallout logo, usually connecting to the narrative or episode theme. There's rusty cola caps, glowing green monitors, Vegas neon signs, rivets, fire, ice, dust, blood. Short, subtle, and with just that perfect nudge into the episode. I've got a video here which has all the opening titles. The end credits, though, are also these long single shots within a very game environment feel, with the setting and details full of nods to the storyline, to Fallout lore, Easter eggs, locations, and potential clues to the plot. Again, a video with all the end credits. And if you're really feeling it, I've also linked to the season 1 end credits. And so to quick hits. Creators on YouTube can now like comments on their videos in bulk. Yes, that means they can engage meaningfully with their viewers and followers by using an automated function that will like all comments it deems positive. Authentic, yes, and real, indeed. Or, as a commenter said, draining the humanity out of online interactions for the sake of engagement. Your call. The FIFA World Cup is not far away. Besides the ticket pricing chaos for those attending, closer to Asia, one of the biggest, well, numerically biggest markets, still doesn't have a broadcast deal. Venkat Anant looks at how India will end up watching the greatest show in the world. Spotify's prompted playlist feature rolled out in beta earlier this year. It lets you describe what you want with a prompt, then generates a playlist quote informed by your listening history and what's happening in music right now. End quote. This has now expanded to include podcasts. Arguably, that could be even more useful. And that's it for this week. I really do recommend getting into the newsletter because there's lots of visual goodness this week. If you enjoy reading and listening and looking at the color bar, maybe get me a coffee. I've had a link here which can help me fuel the next edition, or do support by sharing pieces you like, forwarding it to others who might enjoy it. Ping me also with any feedback, recos, or ideas to collaborate. I work with individuals and teams on content and creativity. For a more eclectic set of writings, I would love for you to have a look at my weekly Substack, Coffee and Conversations. Till next week, keep it smiling.